Jackson. I'm a freshman here at USM. I'm a political science major. I'm originally from northern Aroostook County, most northwestern town in the state. That's Allagash. And the sixth generation in my family to live there. And it was with much hesitation and sadness that I left that place in Aroostook County to seek higher education here in the Portland area. But I did so knowing that perhaps I could return to Allagash with something to offer. There's not a day that my mind has gone embroiled in thoughts of the economic plight that my native area is racked by with each passing year. Now, yet another nail appears to be driven in the coffin of my home, and other small towns like it in Maine. That nail manifests itself in the form of a TABOR II, a so-called tax relief measure that would reduce the state's ability to levy revenue by way of a monolithic formula based on inflation and population growth. This looming specter, this radical measure that would have made even Barry Goldwater cringe, is a potential detriment to our state's health, growth, and prosperity. As a first-year college student, I'm all too familiar with the financial difficulties involved in pursuing higher education. Fortunately, I had an affordable, accessible, and critically acclaimed in-state public university system to rely on, and one which my own two parents graduated from. Currently, the University of Maine system provides people with an excellent balance of effective programs at low costs. Should question 4 pass, tuitions are likely to rise unless and perhaps even if programs are cut. Question 4 presents us with misleading and complex, yet ineffective changes in taxation that will deter the state from continuing its proud history with the public university system. I worry about my younger brother, who will begin looking for institutions of higher learning in the next 3 to 4 years. What decisions will he have to make in the hypothetical future the TABOR proposes? When he sees that even public university tuition is too costly for him, or the programs have been slashed within those schools, will he have to leave Maine to get a degree? It is a shame to think that with dozens of colleges in the state, many of them state universities and community colleges, young people will be forced to go elsewhere immediately after high school. As the oldest state in the nation, and one with an alarmingly low birth rate, Maine cannot afford to lose any more of its most valuable resource, and that is young people. The forces that drive this movement are, unfortunately, yet not surprisingly, out-of-state influences. These proponents of question 4 fail to understand that Maine's long heritage and value of local control cannot effectively be subjugated under the formulaic provisions that TABOR II provides. As many a proposal have taught us, such as the school consolidation measures a few years ago, what works in one end of the state will not work in the other. Just as with all things, taxation needs to be flexible and locally managed in regards to local revenue. In regards to state levies, taxation must be considered with the needs and peculiarities of each individual budget year. What's terribly sad is that TABOR is being promoted as a savior for the so-called out-of-control spending that supposedly runs rampant in Augusta. This notion fails to consider that funding to the state's public schools has already been slashed by $27 million this year. It fails to consider that our current state budget is $450 million lower than the last, with lawmakers pledging to reduce it by another $200 million by the end of the year. And this notion fails to consider that state workers have already taken a 5% pay reduction across the board and 12 furlough days. What more is it going to take to make Grover Norquist happy? Let's not go down this road, the very road Colorado has already proven to be so disastrous. Rather than doom ourselves to the same fate they have, which has reduced their education funding to rank one of the lowest in the union and driven college tuition rates in that state up over 20%, let's continue to build and recover from this recession. Let's go forth with our ballots on election day and proclaim that the poisonous tendrils of TABOR will not invade our state and threaten our way of life. And on that day, let's vote no on question 4.